This week on Zen and Not Zen, BroTime edition.
You can totally edit this out.
No.
What the fuck was in that joint you gave me? I had one hit, and I am so high right now. I am having an existential crisis right now. I am outside of my body. I literally never smoke weed when I'm here with you. I never smoke weed with you guys. And today I was like, I don't have anything to do for a little while. I'll have one little hit. My tolerance is up again. I'm smoking weed at the end of the night. I literally have one hit of that, and I am flying on Jupiter right now. I'm like, I have to drive. I'm gonna have to sit on your couch for an hour. I'm not gonna be able to leave, Adam.
Oh, good. We'll watch like Rick and Morty for a
cool. I'm gonna tell you, as soon as we end this podcast, I'm gonna have to go into silent mode. Like, I'm not kidding you. I am struggling right now. Getting through that black hole talk, I was having a panic attack. I took everything in me to stay in my body, talking about the existence of a black hole and how the universe ends and starts. I'm having struggle city right now.
Remember when?
And then I'm like trying to act all serious, and then I get really aware that all of us are trying to pretend like we're not on fucking cloud 9 right now, or fucking I don't know where we are right now, different galaxy, and we're all being like very. Man. Yes, you're right. Mm-hmm. That is what can we all admit that I am so fucked? What is in this? What is in this? BroTime. Oh, baby, won't you come to me? Baby, show me who you are.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet to me like sugar to my heart. Baby, I'm craving for you.
Still don't know.
I'm missing you like candy.
Oh, wait, no. I do know it now. I got it. It was literally the last fucking line. Holy shit. Oh, my God. None of that.
None of it rang a bell until the last bit.
I saw the light bulb happen.
Holy shit.
God.
That's fantastic. Good deal. Oh, man.
So you got it a couple minutes in.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
so.
I started to pick it up. You know, a lot of those songs, like Taylor Swift, for example. I've never listened to one of those songs.
Shake It Off. That's the only one I can
that's
name.
it. Like I couldn't name any song from
Shake
Taylor
It Off.
Swift.
Yeah.
But if somebody played me something, or maybe the hook or something, like one of the popular parts, then I'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard that part of it.
But see, that's actually because
the
only reason why I know that one is because that one's called The Hook.
Like Blues
Shake
Travelers?
It Off.
Blues Travelers,
Yeah.
The Hook?
Blues Travelers got a hit song called Blues Traveler?
No, they
called
The Hook.
Or just Hook.
The Hook.
The Hook.
Yeah.
Hook brings you back.
Remember the
Whoa,
Blues?
I started
is
singing it
that
as
off
the Mandy
4?
Moore.
Yeah,
I only know Run It. I haven't listened to fucking man.
That was a pretty good
what
album.
I need to do? I need to get down with Blues Traveler.
Dude, John Popper can blow the fucking harmonica like nobody else, man.
Make a noodle, some investor win, and then begin to see what you do to
be the same.
same.
TV is not for free. This OPC is killing me.
So
desperately asking to me of love. So I have to win and hate it.
And I gotta keep these feelings on the show.
Great song.
Yeah, it's good.
You should check it out, man. You know, I never really followed the Blues Travelers after that.
Dude lives over here.
I know that they kept making music, but I just never really. I don't know if he lives over here.
I was on the school bus one time, and I was blasting Blues Travelers in my headphone, and
All
someone
that
tapped me
tracks.
on my shoulder and goes, "Are you listening to like Celtic music?" Because I've just had harmonica beating out of my
Fuck yeah.
headphones.
Those old school 90s ones where you're like, I know exactly what this motherfucker
The little soft foam
Yeah.
over it. I met John Popper in an airport coming back in LAX. I was coming back from Australia. And
that flight is brutal.
That was 15 hours. Yeah, straight shot to LAX. But it was Qantas, decent seats and shit. But I'm getting off the plane and I look over and I recognize the face, but I couldn't remember where because this was after John Popper lost like 200 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And so his face was
Drew
still
Carey.
that kind of pudgy face. And he had the hat on, the signature hat with the turquoise and shit. Yeah. But this really tiny body. And I'm like, I know this person, but like, it just looks... I can't put it. It was like a cartoon version of him, like a reverse caricature, you know?
And now he's like, now I can move freely through the world.
Totally.
Like,
but I went up and introduced myself. He was a really sweet guy.
Aww.
Yeah, he was a really sweet man. Yeah.
Blues Travelers.
Fuck yeah, man. My youngest has recently gotten into Blues Travelers.
They're great.
Yeah.
Blues Traveler.
Blues Traveler.
Blues Traveler.
Oh, it's kind of like Lego.
Pike's Place.
It's like
Pike's Place. Blues Travelers.
Blues Traveler.
Fred Meyers.
Yeah, Fred Meyers.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Speaking of Fred Meyer, last night Mandy and I got Instacart groceries, or she ordered Instacart groceries from Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
And the guy that was picking up our groceries, apparently every store I've gone into, like the aisles are completely bare. Like there's just no
really?
stock anywhere. And so he was
you're on the
texting
hill.
us. Yeah. And so he was texting us like every 5 minutes, was like, hey, they don't have this. Hey, they don't have that. So already this shopping trip has become a nightmare for him because he's just texting us every 5 minutes having to replace shit. And so I felt really bad. His name is Terry. And then he texts us like 20 minutes later a picture of his car, and someone had broken into his car in the parking lot of Fred Meyer. And so he's like, I'm really sorry I'm late. I've, had this. And we're like, oh my God, after all of this time that he's been texting us, he's been in there extra long probably because of us. And so I felt terrible. And then he dropped off the groceries, and one of the 12 pack of Cokes was completely demolished, and it was all covered in dirt. And I could just picture that was the last fucking straw for him. Like he was bringing in our groceries, and the bottom of the fucking 12 pack of Coke bust open, and 12 individual Cokes rolling down the fucking hill.
All of
And
them
I was
are
like,
dead and
Terry,
shit.
I was just imagining his fucking day yesterday.
Yeah.
I got my car broken into, and then at the
Fucking net loss on the Instacart.
For me, that would have been the
God.
moment I started crying. Not when my car got broken
Jesus.
into, but when the 12
That's so
of
fucking
Coke just
funny.
ran down the fucking hill. That would have been it.
Yeah, you could just tell
Just
when
end
it
it.
has, like, you've seen, we all know what a fucking full can that's rolled down the driveway looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God.
That is terrible.
Shout out to Terry.
Oh, fucking Terry. So I used to deliver pizzas for Papa John back in the day. And I think I've said this before on this podcast. I wasn't the best pizza driver.
Mm-hmm.
I've since grown in my work ethic, but at that time, I smoked a lot of weed and delivered pizzas.
As I would expect,
It
one
was great.
pizza
At the
delivery
time,
driver.
he smoked a lot of weed, guys.
And delivered pizzas.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a yes and. Right? But I remember this one time I was delivering pizzas. There was two. And I was walking up to the house, and I kind of like stepped sideways, I guess, on part of their like rockery, and I fell, and the pizzas fell. Yeah. And so I was like picked myself up, and it was kind of at the front of the driveway, so I still had some time. I don't know if they saw me there yet. So I like went back to my truck real quick, and I opened up the pizzas. The top one was fine. I'm like, cool. Bottom one, not fine.
Yeah.
All the toppings had slid to one side because when I fell, it was just like boop. And so I'm like, fuck, man. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. And like,
Take
what
like
can I
that
do?
top of the coupon
Coupon.
page
Yes.
and use the coupon
The
page to
receipts.
pull it up.
So that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
That would have been a good one.
I used my cigarette pack.
Oh, no.
Camel Specialized. And I'm like, boop. And I just smoothed the cheese back out as best. It looked
Like,
horrible.
like
Looked
smoothing out drywall.
Dude, it was so
God.
bad. But I
Just
put it on
spackle
the
this back
bottom
together.
just in case they were like, ooh, pizza. And they like checked it. So I
Top
put it on
looks
the bottom
great.
one. And then I just walked up there. I'm like, hey, $14.95. And dude paid me, and I just sprinted to my
Ran.
truck. But I don't think I never heard I don't remember hearing a callback. Not that like it would have mattered.
Well, it
but
was before the time of like, you can call the app or take a picture. Like it's too much effort at that point. So you're
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to eat these cigarette pieces of pizza.
Well, it's so funny. I mean, I think I told us we got pizza one time from a small town place, and they fucked up like every aspect of like, granted, my friend who ordered it was ordering a fucked up scenario. It's like just get a cheese pizza. It was
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah.
It was one of those. But the thing came up, like, none of that shit that she said was right, and they didn't even slice it. I'm like, okay, I'm like, I've never seen that. Like, a non-sliced pizza before. I'm like, fucking shit.
That's the ultimate fuck you.
Fuck me, right?
Figure it
Yeah,
out,
okay, great.
bitch.
Yeah. Cut your own shit, bitch.
Fucking unsliced.
God, I wish I would have thought of that when I
Yeah,
worked at Papa John's.
Well, no, actually, I mean, I don't think it was because, I was watching what was going on. Like, it was, I don't think it was a fuck you. It was not a well-run operation. Like, the mom, like, had her kid in a playpen, like, literally just right to the next to the thing. And it's just like, okay. And then, like, the boyfriend dad thing. And
Yes.
I'm just like,
So you're doing the best you can today.
Yeah,
okay, great.
right.
Yeah.
I should
Yeah.
probably invest in a fucking knife.
Yeah. just one. You can
I know
reuse
you,
it.
hey, I understand you're working hard. Shit, let's not baby-proof the pizzeria.
Even a sharp, like, little shovel or something. I don't need a knife.
I did a sound bath last night at a private residence, and they've got a little one. I think it's about like 1 year old now, and it was fucking ingenious. Like, so most parents will like baby-proof the house, right, for the baby, like put the socket covers on and all this shit. This person baby-proofed the baby from the place, right? So like the Christmas tree had a baby gate around it, and like the vase had like a baby gator. Like all the things had like get the fuck.
They
away
were
from me,
protecting it from the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Instead of the baby
is
from it. I'm like, you guys
hilarious.
are awesome. I've never seen it turned around before like
Reverse.
that.
Just like fucking big like a cozy cone.
Right.
Yeah.
It reminded me of this Simpsons episode back in the day. It was Homer went around and they were baby proofing the house, and Homer went around and started drawing little bunny ears on all the outlets, the plugs. And Marge is like, why are you drawing bunny ears on all the plugs or on the outlets? Maggie's not afraid of bunny rabbits. And he's like, she will be.
Oh, Homer.
Yeah, the Simpsons are just
Classic.
such a classic thing.
They wrote out. I don't watch Simpsons anymore, but they're no longer. Homer's no longer going to choke Bart.
Oh, right on.
Oh, okay.
Didn't they write out Apu also?
Apu got written out.
Yeah.
I just read this either 2 days ago. I didn't know this, but the Michael Jackson episode's not available on streaming anymore.
I don't know if I
there's
remember that
so
one.
many shows of like that. I was like, where's that episode? I want to find this. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, right. They did blackface in that
another
episode.
Thing
They
about,
pulled
like,
it.
going back to like owning physical media again.
Uh-huh.
Something I'm kind of shifting back to,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But no, the Michael Jackson episode where Homer goes to the loony bin and meets the guy who says he's Michael Jackson.
Oh,
but
I do remember.
it's
that.
voiced by Michael Jackson, but it's not actually.
Yes.
Doesn't look like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, so they don't do that one on. I was reading up on it, so the fucking producers are like, yeah, like, so one of the producers legitimately is like, I think fucking, this is all after the Neverland documentary came out,
Okay.
which I think we've
I don't think I've seen that yet.
I saw the first half of it. It's not
it's
an easy watch.
It's rough.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really rough.
Is it like evidence, like real evidence
It's
about?
victims talking
Yeah,
firsthand.
Okay.
I again, as someone who's I didn't finish the other half, I find it kind of hard to believe that someone a couple years older than me would sit there for 2 hours and sit there and lie. their fucking ass off.
About
Like,
something like that.
It's pretty compelling.
And they got pretty decent details,
Yeah.
and not decent. I mean, pretty hard hitting
Yeah,
details.
yeah.
But the main victim was. Do you remember? Oh, what is his name? He is the choreographer for NSYNC and Britney Spears, like in the early 2000s. But he was like around all the time.
Yeah.
Wade. His name was Wade something.
I remember hearing about that.
So
actually,
that he
something about
was
that.
the main
victim?
character or main victim of that documentary, which I didn't
wow.
realize. Because Michael Jackson had kind of like scouted him as a young kid and was like, I can see this kid dance. I want to mentor him. And then his mom would constantly drop him off at Neverland Ranch.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Robinson. Wade Robinson.
Is Michael Jackson feeling the same vehemency as like an R. Kelly because of all this, or is this still because?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's
I think
interesting.
people still kind of play the devil's advocate or still kind of choose to separate the art from the artist, or I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird situation because every other celebrity that has anything, it's like immediate cancellation, except for Michael Jackson.
I mean, I can't say that like Bill Cosby is as big as Michael Jackson, but Bill Cosby's a pretty big.
The
star.
one thing I will say is that
wide reach.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's very few that are in this Michael Jackson category.
Totally.
I think you just totally brought one up, which
Yeah.
would be Bill Cosby.
well, I think the
Felt
main
like betrayed almost
Oh,
when that one came
100%.
down.
yeah, and
I'm
I
still
think
pissed about
you could
that.
argue anybody who does things like Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, you have to be mentally ill to be doing those things.
and
But I
most
think
likely victim
he
himself.
actually was mentally ill, Michael Jackson. So I think people tend to give him a little more leeway, like, oh, he had but this,
Yeah.
and oh, he thought he was a child, and blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Like, so I think there's a little more leeway for him in that regard,
Okay.
for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's. I mean, and I don't bring that up to judge anybody.
but
it's
there's
just,
no like boycott.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just interesting to
No
see
one's
like
pulling music
what
from
we,
streams.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly. What we give lenience to in some ways, and then we justify or hold people accountable in strong other ways.
And I would say, like, even after he passed, I would say like, oh, maybe it's because he passed away and that's why people are giving him kind of leeway. But even when he was alive, he was kind of getting that. So
shit. Now that I think about it, I mean that was almost 15 years ago. First of all, but didn't they sue the doctor? He had that doctor that was living with him or some shit.
The propofol doctor.
The doctor had to go to jail or was getting sued for some shit. You know, because basically he was a yes guy to a fucking wealthy guy, which happens all the fucking time. But you know. Most people didn't write fucking Thriller, so we give a shit more.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking savage. How do we get on Simpsons?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Simpsons then
and then just really
baby-proofing houses.
Baby-proofing houses.
That's right. There it is.
I just really hope now that like something nefarious doesn't come out about Prince.
Oh, I'm a rock your world right now. I'm a rock your world. He put women in the hospital multiple times.
Really?
He
was abusive.
Almost yes.
Wow.
I mean, not only like Apollonia, but Wendy and Lisa, backup singers, not like physically, but like emotionally abusive to them. He went after Sinead O'Connor physically.
Wow.
Like Sinead O'Connor talked about a story about where Prince like chased her around his compound.
Wow.
He was very violent towards women.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I mean, I can't, not, again, I'm not justifying this at all, but it's just, I think that shows that we all have something that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And you get to those points where nobody says no to you anymore, you know, and if you haven't managed whatever demons you're working with in your life, then those things very much get just like exasperated.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily, but you know, there's people like Macaulay Culkin, you know, or even fucking what's the fucking Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Right. Who's making, so I would say both of them really fell off the deep end as youngsters, right? Because nobody's saying no to you. You're making millions and millions of dollars, right? Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But as you start to get older, it's like you realize like the consequences of that freedom, right? If you can make it to that age, hopefully, right? And Macaulay Culkin definitely did, has turned his life around, has done a great job. From an outsider, I don't know fucking shit about Macaulay Culkin, except for what I see on TV, right?
I think he's a great individual.
But, you know, hearing even accounts from like somebody like Justin Bieber, who, you know, within the last 10 years came through Seattle and just like pissed off and was banned from 90% of the fucking nightclubs because he kept walking out on his tab and shit.
Sure.
But, you know, now it seems like he's starting to understand the value of being a human being and not just being a fucking dumb shit.
Well, and just like that, I mean, I was an asshole in my 20s and like it's just they're just growing up in the public eye. But then Justin Bieber, like, you know, he got sucked into Hillsong, that crazy ass cult church.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so I don't know if he's still a part of it, but like it just like one of those mega churches. So he's, I mean,
you gotta watch out for shit, man.
I know.
People, you know, sing a good song, but you gotta watch out what's behind it. You know.
Let's be honest, Bieber really sing a good song.
He does.
I'll give
him that.
That was a metaphor. Just happened to be about a musician. I was talking more about the churches or people out there. So there's one of my favorite quotes that I've ever heard that I live by, and not live by, but I really reference a lot in personal life and when talking with others. But it's when you meet the Buddha on the road, you kill the Buddha. Right. And so that means basically if somebody comes across your path and was like, hey, Kinzie, I've got everything that you need. I can make you happy. I can give you wealth. I can give you all the things because I know you and I know how to make you fucking run.
The answer is me.
Yes. Right. Yeah. So it's it's that realization too that, you know, and this is something I talk to my clients a lot about is like, you're your own healer. Yeah. Like people around you can help you. They can hold space. They can give you modalities. They can check in on you, but you're doing the work. Yeah. You're moving the boulders. So if somebody is claiming they have those answers for you, healthy skepticism. Yeah. Right.
I, especially like growing up with all that like religious trauma, like anybody who said, like you said, like, you know, these are the rules you have to follow. These are the ones that I've come up with. These are the ones that this book says you have to do to a T, and this is how you find your salvation or whatever. And I'm like, I'm running away from that. Right. But anytime someone gives me the reins, then I was like, oh, okay, let me listen in a little more. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. I heard somebody say a while back that was, you know, religion is, here's this book of rules. If you don't follow it, you're going to hell. Mm-hmm. And spirituality is like, hey, here's a general idea. You write your own book. Yeah. You know, just
let me know how it goes.
Do what's right for you.
Yeah. See, in general, that's kind of, as someone who is neither of those things, really. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I kind of believe in is karma, and that's the only thing that I can kind of not put a tangible thing to.
Totally.
But yeah, no, I mean the mega church thing or all this shit, the fucking rules and whatnot. I mean, at its root, I think most of these are trying to make you be a decent person.
Yeah, totally.
Which
Yeah.
Should, whether we need to negative reinforce that, is a whole other fucking thing.
Right.
Yeah, but someone else's idea of good and your idea of good can be completely different things.
Well,
and
I don't know what you're talking about. Someone who lives with a female unwed and shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Blasphemy,
Oh,
Rob.
my
Blasphemy.
God.
Blasphemy.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
The other analogy about religion and spirituality that I reference a lot is religion is for people that are scared of hell. Spirituality is people that have been through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, you go through it, you figure
Well,
it out.
I've always thought of people's kind of gravity or whatever. Because again, I still smoke a decent amount of ganj to approach life. That's how I get through it. But so some people use religion for that. But it's just like I've always equated it with a lot of people being scared of death.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really thrilled about the idea of death, but it's also like my take on it is that I'm probably just gonna wind up as some bones, probably in the, most likely in an oven, maybe in the ground, and then I'll just kind of turn into some, whatever.
Fertilizer.
Cool.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Whenever that happens, rock and roll. Prefer
Totally.
to happen later than sooner. My outlook on that's changed. When I was younger, in a slightly darker time, it was sooner rather than later. We've subsequently shifted. But,
Definitely. And that's the thing too, is like it doesn't, like religion, spirituality, atheism, even Satanism, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't, naturists, right? It doesn't matter how you approach life. Like all of those, if you look at the basic understanding of any of those modalities that approach life, the basis is be a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And then from outside of that, there's like little things, right? Even Satanism, right? Satanism, like their basic idea is do whatever the fuck you want, but just don't hurt people doing it.
Right.
Right? So, like, it's a lot of it's in the interpretation. And this is actually funny because I'm bringing a guest on in my other show coming up, and we're actually talking about this. But I think there's so many different ways to approach it because there's so many different humans, right? And we all have different ways we're going to approach life. And it's not really about the text that you're reading. It's how you interpret the text, which can be dangerous. But it can also lead to a lot of freedom within you, because if you can understand that there are interpretive messages within all of the text, then that gives you the freedom to move between all of the text without taking them literally.
Yeah, at
and
face value.
seeing the themes of them, right? And seeing the themes of be a good person. Don't fucking, don't kill people. Don't fucking hurt people, right? Whatever it is, right?
Respect
Don't
your
bang
neighbor.
your neighbor's wife.
Right.
Yeah.
But when it starts to get
Unless
to like...
they have a pineapple on their front porch. Or you see them at the grocery store and that pineapple's upside down.
Is that a new thing?
Oh, that's swingers, man.
Oh, all right.
Pineapples.
Pineapples.
Did
I
we
didn't
do a
know that
podcast
shit.
on that?
You didn't know pineapples and swingers?
No, I didn't know
Oh,
pineapples
that's what
was
they
weird.
I don't know how I
man.
learned about that. Yeah, it's like their code.
Code. Pineapple upside down. I've never
No shit.
seen it. Never seen it at the grocery store, but I'm always fucking looking.
Dude, I'm gonna throw a pineapple upside down next time and just see what the fuck happens. You don't have to say yes.
No, you don't.
I
You
could just be like, "Oh, what do you mean?"
I was fixing this pineapple.
Isn't this the way pineapples go?
Good sir. Just be on my way to the raspberries.
Yeah, just be holding Monica's hand like fucking weirdly through the grocery store. Like some weird open palm.
Yeah.
Like weird open palm.
Like her hand is set
Like,
up.
stacked open palm. Yeah, fucking weird thing. Yeah. Like nobody holds their hands like that, but you do with the pineapple upside down in the grocery store. Yeah.
Just call each other lava. What kind of milk should we get, lava?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
lava! Can you
Oh,
grab
lava.
Can you grab the cultured butter, lava?
When I was working at Jill's one time, when I was still serving, I was working in a group in the private room, and it was a private group. And it was on a weeknight, and mostly for the weeknights, we didn't have the upstairs open. We just had downstairs open. Upstairs was just for private events. And so there was nobody upstairs, like a Tuesday night, nobody upstairs, and just me and this group. It's like 30 people in the back. And it was cool. They were cool. They were like, we're having a good time. They're conversating, they're interactive, which is always fun. Some people just don't like, they treat you like the help.
Yeah.
These people were like, hey, what's up? Adam,
Yeah,
come over here.
part of the
It's like,
experience.
Cool, all right.
Yeah, when they treat you like they like hand you plates and shit. You're like,
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to bust right now.
Right, yeah,
fucker.
but I guess I'll take it.
Right. But through the 3-hour event, they got extra nice and nicer. And, And then I walked back there at one point, and there was like a cuddle puddle right by one of the pool tables. Just like 3 girls and a guy just fucking going at it. And I'm like, and everybody's just like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Cocktails
All drinking pineapple juice.
I know, right? Yeah, I have to think back about that now. And I'm like,
Malibu Pine.
and then it like I finally put it together. It's a big swingers group.
Nice.
I'm like, I don't know if they were pre-funking or if they were just hoping I would.
But how
not
nice and
spend as much
welcoming
time
they
back there.
are.
They were sweet. They were so
Yes.
sweet.
A buddy of mine got married at a fucking swingers place.
Oh, all right.
What?
A wedding venue. It's in Everett. I don't know if it's still there. It's called the Manor. So it's literally a wedding venue some of the time, and then like during the weekdays,
Just
you
swingers
free
joint.
for all.
All right.
So
man.
shit-faced Robin at like 21's like talking to the staff like, "Hey, I fucking hear this is a swingers place." Like, "You're drunk, sir." I'm like, "It's not a fucking denial. You need to leave." All right.
Yeah, good talk. Oh, fucking hell. Well, so 2023.
Yeah.
So we're coming to an end here.
I know. I was trying to think about stuff last night, and it
Didn't do shit.
feels like a long time, and it also feels like a short time. When did we start this podcast? Was it last year? 2 years ago?
Let's see. Robin and I have been doing it for 3 years.
We started it like
Like
COVID.
20
right in COVID.
21?
And I think you came on about a year and a half after.
That's wild.
So about a year and a half, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, it's so, and that's, I talk to people about this all the time because, like, thank you for all the people that listen, right? But we're not making any money at this, right?
No.
This is just 3 people that get together and hang out. Even my other podcast that I have that I take, like I have guests on, all this shit, don't make any money on it.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun to fucking do.
I know.
And to know that I have the time to do something like this when my previous life of working and managing restaurants, I couldn't even take a day off for myself, let alone have people over, like have the energy to have people over and talk to people.
Yeah.
And then edit and put this out. Like it doesn't
Like,
take
it's a lot
time,
of work.
but
I was
it's
thinking
still a lot
about
of
like
work, you
how
know?
much work it is for you. Because like for me, I just show up and drive home. Like I don't have to do anything. But like you have to set up this whole thing. You have to edit it. You have to
He has to hide
upload
all the
it.
pineapple
You got-
memorabilia.
Yeah.
He has to put all the pineapples back when we leave.
That's what that. It's not a massage bed. That's a suitcase of pineapples.
Yeah. He's gonna like hit a drawer and all these pineapples are just
Well, yeah. I mean, but it's so much fun because like. I went to school for this back in the day.
Yeah.
Never, I did my stuff with it that I did, but I didn't pursue it. But it's always found a way back into my life. So to be able to do this and again, like hang out with friends,
Yeah.
it's that reminder that the changes that I made in my life were difficult to make, but this is like the outcome and this is the joy and the fun that I get to have now because I don't put 70 hours in.
Yeah.
To a fucking job that just wants to get people drunk and treat their staff like shit, right? It's like, I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
No offense to any good restaurants out there. And the restaurants I worked at were good.
Yeah.
But when you boil it down, everybody's just a fucking number.
Yeah.
And whether you can put whatever kind of like smile and happiness and employee incentive program behind it that you want, we're all just fucking numbers. And we
Very
can be
much.
cut just like that.
Very
and
much.
that disturbs me.
Yeah.
And I can't be a part of that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's crazy how I never thought I'd be a server this long. But it just keeps something about it just keeps pulling me back in. But
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's like easy, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's those things that like you know,
Yeah.
right? You know what you're getting yourself into. You know that you can manage the difficult times. You know that there's income that comes in that justifies it. Right?
Like I know how the game works.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? And once you know the rules of the game, you can justify playing the game, right? And it's easier than getting
It's like
into
Baccarat.
right. I don't know
I
how
don't
to play
know.
baccarat, but
Neither do
I hear about it.
Apparently, they have good odds.
But our psyche works the same way. We wrap ourselves in these lies and these like razor blade and barbed wire lace blankets, thinking that we're being comfortable because it's just the trauma that we know. And we're afraid to step out of it because we could be inviting in more trauma, but there could also be a marshmallow fucking blanket right there. Right. It's the most comfortable thing you've ever put on, but we're used to being cut and stabbed. So it's okay. We know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Right. And so we find safety within that in some kind of way. It's like that trauma bonding kind of shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the devil you know is easier than the devil you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think for me, like 2023 felt like the first real year since COVID.
Yeah.
You know, it actually felt like a year. It felt like there were like habitual things that were happening.
Wasn't really wearing I put on a mask a couple times.
I don't think I did at all. I think,
Yeah,
no,
I did a
don't think
couple
did
times
all.
if I wasn't feeling well or things like that.
Oh yeah, I guess
Or
that. Yeah.
leading
Yeah.
up to Beyonce's concert, I was just like, I'm not risking getting fucking COVID,
Right.
so I'm wearing a mask for a week at a time.
I think that's actually a good point. Yeah, I guess 2023 did kind of feel quote normal.
Yeah. Like I had a regular work schedule. I didn't have,
Yeah. There's one place that I still go that up until maybe even March was still requiring a mask, and it was the deprivation tank that I go to, and it was just you get in, you have to have a mask until you get to your
the
room,
most
and then you can take it
isolating
off.
activity. It requires you to wear a mask. Cool. Okay.
But they're very cautious, and now they just have a sign up that says recommends.
Right.
But that was kind of like that marker for me of like, because they were the last place, they were like the last holdout. And I only go there once a month, and it's not a big deal. I don't fucking care, whatever. And like, I don't believe that that's helping, but for a COVID prevention, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think that it helps, but I was respecting his business.
Yeah.
I'm patronizing his business, so hey, man, I don't qualms with it, right? It's just personal preference, and but that was my like delineated factor of like, oh, hey, all right. Just suggestion now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That
cool.
now we're finally over the hill.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
Like one of the managers at the coffee shop that I go to by my house, like wore a mask for like the last 3 years, and I didn't even fucking recognize her without it.
Yeah.
Right,
And I was like, oh, yeah, she was kind of one of probably the last, It's kind of. I remember when I stopped having to. I flew a couple times, so like you didn't have to wear them at the airport. I'm like, okay, this is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
For having someone who wears fucking glasses. It's just
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I
you're all
know.
constantly fogged up.
It's been a long 3 years for glasses wearers.
Fuck,
Yeah.
man. To look like a fucking dork all the time. It's pretty tough.
No, not even that. You just can't see because anytime I wear glasses and I had a mask on, it immediately fogged up
Yeah.
every time I took a breath out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I just pretty much didn't. I mean, I'm fortunate that it's like I could see in well enough without glasses.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, fuck, 8 years ago, I decided, shit being blurry far away kind of blows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just like fucking see what the shit that is instead of being like, some Mayo looking thing over there.
I had so when I was in Alaska last week.
Alaska week.
Alaska
Alaska
week, yes. I was talking to a friend, and she's a natural person, makes her own. Actually, she has her own skin line products and stuff. But said when she was younger, she was trying to make her own contact solution, and so she looked it up online or whatever, and found a recipe, and she made her own contact solution, and dipped her contacts in those, popped them in, went out, had her night, partied, and all that stuff. Said she got home and was a little drunk, and she went to take her contacts out. She'd been in for hours, like 6 to 8 hours. And she took them out, and she said when she took them off, there was like, she could see something like dangling down from the contact. And she said in her eye just immediately started hurting, just profusely bad. And so she put her hand over her eye and started screaming. And what had happened was the solution she made her retina, cornea come off on both eyes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so apparently, though, this is the fun, interesting part.
I can't tell you like how horrified I am right now.
Oh,
That is like my worst, like eyes and fingernails.
Yeah. I have another interesting contact story.
Oh my God.
But so this person went to the doctor, and they, said, okay, yeah, you detached your corneas, put patches on both eyes for 3 days. This person had to have, patches and people helping her out. But after 3 days, your corneas grow back.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they just fucking regenerate.
I was like, this is
they
the
were
most
like fucking
horrifying story
lizards.
that's gonna have the worst ending because
Oh, like
woman
that, yeah.
blinded herself.
Oh,
Oh my God.
that's crazy.
Ugh.
No, I had a buddy in high school. Just one more interesting contact story that I didn't know could happen. But I had a buddy in high school that it was when the leave-in contacts first came out, and you could leave them in for like multiple days and have to take them out all the time. Well, he left his in for like 6 weeks. It just like would sleep in him, and we'd party in him, party and shit, So like, and so one day he went to go take them out, and he couldn't because his eye had grown a film on top of them.
Oh!
And so he had to get them surgically removed.
Oh my God.
And then he had a little divot in his
Like a little crater.
Oh.
yeah, totally.
my
And it took
God.
I can't remember how long it took for it to normalize, but it took a while. And so it obstructed his vision because he kind of was like looking like through a. He said it looked like he was looking through a fishbowl.
Holy
God
shit.
damn.
People, take
That's
care of
actually-
your eyes.
Well, yeah, that's why they took the contraceptive sponges off the market.
When they did that?
They took those off the market, the female contraceptive sponges. They took those off the market because women were leaving them in for fucking...
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's how you get
that's a
toxic shock.
toxic
You
shock,
can't be doing
yeah.
that.
But, like, that's fucking
I had a
foreign bodies, man.
Yeah.
There was a helper that we had that worked at one of the restaurants I was at that suffered from toxic shock, and this person was, I would say, in her 50s, 60s maybe,
man.
and she was very much like a teenager. Like it was like stunted growth, emotional personal growth, and it was very interesting working with this person. But she was great. But it just like for the first few months, I just had to keep reminding myself that though you look like you could be my grandmother.
Yeah.
The mentality of that teenager, you know, it's hard to kind of wrap my head around for a little bit. But yeah, you gotta take care of your body. Yeah, fucking hell, man. But so 2023. So outside of being the first normal year, like what was like some music, some highlights?
The James Webb Telescope was pretty fun for me.
Oh yeah,
Seeing space like
That's
that.
fucking much better than whatever the hell I didn't come up with. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was really cool to see.
But
space
it felt like
that.
forever ago that happened. And I just have to, that's the thing kind of that I hold on to this year, because there's a lot of bad shit that's happened this year, or not, I mean, just heavy shit that's happened this year and still happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's one really cool thing that all of humanity could share together.
Yeah. I read a theory earlier that about black holes, and they were talking about how, you know, with the energy that a black hole, or that they're theorizing the Big Bang puts off is comparable to the energy that is within the black hole. So the idea that they're working with is like, does the Big Bang create its own black hole? And if it does that explain why there's all these black holes in the universe? And is each one of those black holes a Big Bang with its own universe within it?
Yeah.
And then all those black holes within those.
Thinking about stuff like this breaks my brain.
Yeah. Well, they're like, the big thing is string theory, right? Or M theory, right? And that's like the biggest provable, and that's interesting that it's provable, multiple dimensional theory that they're working with, that like quantum physics is working with. And so these are some of those theories that they're kind of coming up with. And now that we can see deeper into space, and we can start to like maybe, you know, get more clarity or more instruments out there. I know they're sending shit out to other planets now that can even see farther. You know, it's just interesting to see what they'll find.
It's rad. And I think they put sound to a black hole this year too, if I remember correctly.
I think I remember hearing about that. That's fucking cool.
Haunting sounds. That's what I think it was right when you got your symbol, because I remember hearing that for the first time and being like, holy shit, that sounds like a black hole, because I know what a black hole sounds like now.
I actually got it. I ordered another gong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, 2023 was the year of the water wheel, bro.
Yes.
It was
The iconic era of the water wheel.
As I look, I've never seen it move.
The winds pushed it a few times.
Remember when we had those gale force winds and they told us to batten down the hatches? It moved ever so slightly.
Yeah, totally the wheel of the way of the water wheel.
That was 2020?
Yeah, that was this year. Yeah,
it was a good multi-month project.
It was, yeah. We ended up rolling it back here like the Mayans.
Yeah.
Like, we just had fucking PVC pipes and we just put it on top and rolled it and moved one.
Did it make a cool sound like?
Is that a PVC
When
pipe?
you threw them down, it was like.
Yes, it did actually.
Cool.
It's like those. They have those. There's like an instrument now where like people are putting together like 2-inch, 3-inch pipes, and then running tubes through like angles.
Playing them.
Yeah, and then playing them with like paddles.
Nice.
Yeah, with the scrambled egg paddles.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like anything's an instrument.
Like DIY xylophone, basically?
More or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I playing Crazy Train on that.
Yeah, I've seen that one,
is that the
Oh, I know what you're
Well,
talking
I've
about.
seen
Yeah.
multiple
Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Yeah. Got it.
I've gone on like, I wouldn't say wormholes on them, but like it just happens sometimes.
Yeah,
Like, they'll
it's
just,
very
like, keep
satisfying
popping up.
sound.
Yeah, totally. Well, and I'm big into just finding weird sounds right now.
Yeah.
Like for my sound bath stuff, like this guy gave me a whole list of. He's a percussionist, and he gave me a whole list of fucking things to make weird noises. I'm like, yes, that's all I want.
I should loan you my Zoob tube.
Oh, is that like those whoop?
It's no. They were fucking big in the early '90s. It's basically a shipping tube with two cups on the end of it with a huge spring that runs down it. You pluck the spring and it makes space sounds.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because space, there is no sound in space.
Oh, fucking Sandy full of gravity.
Oh, fucking hell.
You can totally edit this out.
No.
What the fuck was in that joint you gave me? I had one hit, and I am so high right now. I am having an existential crisis right now. I am outside of my body. I literally never smoke weed when I'm here with you. I never smoke weed with you guys. And today I was like, I don't have anything to do for a little while. I'll have one little hit. My tolerance is up again. I'm smoking weed at the end of the night. I literally have one hit of that, and I am flying on Jupiter right now. I'm like, I have to drive. I'm gonna have to sit on your couch for an hour. I'm not gonna be able to leave, Adam.
Oh, good. We'll watch like Rick and Morty. For
cool. I'm gonna tell you, as soon as we end this podcast, I'm gonna have to go into silent mode. Like, I'm not kidding you. I am struggling right now. Getting through that black hole talk, I was having a panic attack. I took everything in me to stay in my body, talking about the existence of a black hole and how the universe ends and starts. I'm having struggle city right now.
Remember when?
And then I'm like trying to act all serious, and then I get really aware that all of us are trying to pretend like we're not on fucking cloud 9 right now, or fucking I don't know where we are right now, different galaxy, and we're all being like very. Man. Yes, you're right. That is what can we all admit that I am so What is in this? What is in this?
So
I've had mojito.
So it's funny.
What is in this?
High school when you'd smoke some really good shit.
I am violently high.
I think it's laced. Like your dealer added more expensive drugs to your fucking shitty 20 sack.
I am violently high.
Violently
high.
Dude, that's how the guy described it. I'm like, let's go.
There was one time in high school. We used to meet at different people's houses before school and just smoke weed. Because we all late arrival.
That's weird, dude. You were the only person to do that.
I know, right? Exactly. Yeah, we're such innovators.
Yeah.
So we were at our buddy's house, and I can't remember. Somebody else got the weed, right? Usually it was me or my other buddy, but somebody else brought the weed. And there was like 6 or 7 of us, a lot more than normal. And we were like taking shots of vodka and orange juice. And
like half
weed.
Vodka, half orange
totally,
juice.
Yeah, totally. And smoking blunts, and we're smoking the blunts, and they just like kind of tasted weird, and we're like, whatever, smoking blunts. And then I'm driving, right, and so then we get to school, and I got 3 people in the car with me, the truck with me, and I pull up, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah. I
can't. I'm too high right now.
Yes.
This doesn't happen. Like I was a professional smoker by then.
Right.
Like I was putting like down pounds and fucking shit. And I'm like, and then like I could feel the whiteness starting to happen. I'm like, oh my god. Like I'm used to being that level of high and drunk that I was at, which sounds terrible for an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, but it was different. And so I'm like, I can't go in. So if anybody wants to go into school, go in. But I got to go somewhere else. And
I can't go learn right now, guys.
And the other car pulled up next to me, and it was like the same thing. They're like, "This is too fucked up." So we're like, "Okay, let's just go." Went to IHOP, and and picked up somebody else that was just running ditching class on the way.
Yeah, so some other Rhodes scholar who was in between honors classes at the time.
So we had one person with us that was not as high as all of us,
yeah,
right? Because they didn't smoke the same weed. So we went to IHOP, and we were just sitting there in the booth like these fucking stoned little fucking teenagers, just like I should eat, but like I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out, we find out later on, we like throughout the IHOP experience, we sobered up enough to be like, okay, I feel like normal-ish. But somebody did lace it, and somebody put coke in it.
Oh yeah,
And so
that'll do it.
and at that point I wasn't doing coke. So
Yeah.
like it was just like that kind of like queasy, uppy kind of like, but it's such a disgusting feeling.
Yeah.
I'd always
Especially when
heard-
you're
I'd
not,
always
like,
heard
prepared for
legends
it.
Of
Totally.
Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, it was not a fun thing.
Yeah,
like
that
even when I
sounds
did
awful.
coke, I didn't lace my weed with it.
No.
The only thing I did lace weed with was we would either coat the blunts with
Sherm.
we would do Sherm inside. So we would roll little pinners. Joints and then dip them in Sherm or the formaldehyde, cut them up into little bitty pieces, and then roll a blunt and then sprinkle the pieces in.
Jesus.
And that was great because
Wow.
yeah, that was
wow.
And then sometimes we would
Jesus.
also.
I've done a lot of weed related shit, and I
Dude.
actually was like, "Whoa, you put
We've
it's
done
like
a
a
lot.
California burrito."
We've done a lot. Yeah.
Going to fucking Chipotle,
And I'm not-
trying to
this
get
isn't-
two
this isn't-
tortillas.
Yeah, this is just like sharing stories. I'm not talking this up at all. But and then the other thing we would do is because coating cough syrup was big back down there, and so we would coat blunts with coating cough syrup, and sometimes we would do the Sherm blunts with the coating cough syrup.
Wow.
And then the key was you'd have to microwave it for like 15 seconds just so you can kind of seal it.
I mean, at least y'all were being creative.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. Definitely. definitely.
Watching Bill
Ingenuity.
Nye while they did
Yeah.
this shit.
It was fun, dude. We actually were very creative with the way we smoked weed. It was fun. Yeah. Again, not advocating, but just
Yeah.
thinking back upon the younger years of Adams.
Yeah, you gotta pat yourself on the back for some of that. It requires a lot of
You're not-
ingenuity.
yeah, so what's the opposite of an advocate?
That's a really good question.
Like, there's got to be a definition.
Protester, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, there's definitely.
You're not doing that either, though.
Well, there's like antagonists and protagonists, right?
I'm sure there's a word
yeah.
that when I'm not
I don't know. Let's,
in the
hey,
current
Kinzie,
state, and
let's
then I
just,
could think of.
Let's make this the next 40 minutes about Kinzie.
No, I'm not here. I'm invisible.
So when you did that open mic
No!
night Seinfeld monologue in 7th grade, in which you just plagiarized all.
It wasn't an
Jerry-
open mic. It was my talent show. Very important.
That's still one of my favorite things.
Oh
I really
my
want to see that video.
I just remember. Oh my god, the one I remember. Did I tell you this joke? I must have.
Please do it again.
I almost remember, but we'll circle back because it was like a year and a half ago. The joke that I remember telling that killed was like talking about lying, going scuba diving with my uncle so I could fit into Jerry Seinfeld's scuba diving story. So I altered it a little bit to make it realistic. He said, he hooked me up with all these scuba diving things I needed, waterproof this and waterproof that and goggles. And he also gave me a waterproof wallet. Why? So if I run into a sea turtle, I can break a 50? Is that the most Jerry Seinfeld joke you've ever heard? What do I need a waterproof wallet? In case I run into a sea turtle that can break a 50? Killed. As an 8th grader, wearing overalls at her school talent show. That
Oshkosh
joke
bagosh.
fucking laid
man.
everyone out.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's the confidence you need.
Yeah.
Fuck
I
yeah.
didn't even fucking wear overalls until fucking literally I was like 31 years old.
If
I
it
rocked
wasn't
overalls a couple
so
times.
hard to go to the bathroom with them,
Yeah, I didn't dig
without
that.
dropping anything in the toilet or on the ground,
God,
Yeah,
it
I
is
didn't even think
kind of
about
a
that.
bummer to get fully undressed and then have to hold everything up and then
Not
go to the
having anything
bathroom.
around the waist is fucking.
But
baller.
wearing them is the best.
Yeah.
I just
Especially
wish
now
they were
have,
easier.
Like, the sweatpant overalls.
I
They're
just
like-
wish I could unzip the crotch and still wear the if I can wear them all day, why can't I wear them while I'm going to the bathroom?
Right.
You know?
Maybe have one of those full zip crotches. you know?
Yeah. God, I love overalls. They're
Or
great.
butt flaps.
Butt flaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a stressful scenario. We did
No,
that on a
yeah.
podcast.
I have
The
a
trap
onesie
door
that
is
has a
stressful.
little
so
trapdoor.
not worth it.
So
not worth it.
So I had an experience that not wearing a onesie or having a butt flap, but it would make me never want to have anything with a butt flap. But I was working at a restaurant as a server, and I was going on my break, and so I went to the bathroom and rolled a blunt, and so I sat down on the toilet, and I have a little server book out, and I'm breaking up my shit, and I'm rolling my blunt, and I finish up, and I stand up, and something slaps me in the back of the legs, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And I turn around, my butt towel that I wear as a server was on my butt, and I sat down, and it dripped in the toilet.
No!
And when I stood up, it slapped me in the back, so I had toilet water all over the back.
That's
of my
worse than
leg.
the cornea story. All
pissed.
these stories are horrible.
So pissed.
I've heard so many phones drop in toilets, and
God.
you know what I mean. Like it's my number one fear.
I've
As
never
soon
dropped
as
one,
I
luckily.
no, always in the front pocket, if any pocket at all, and if not, I'm holding it with my neck or my
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I won't
It's
even
my
do
worst
like
fear.
a sweatshirt or a hoodie pocket. Mm-hmm. Like no front pocket, like in the
Oh,
belly
the
side.
kangaroo pouch.
Well, that's safer. If it's just a zip up hoodie or my cardigans, I don't trust a cardigan pocket unless I can.
No, they're too. You can't.
Yeah.
You're very right. I feel very vulnerable with the cardigan pocket.
They're very loose.
It's so real though. Yeah. If you put the stress I'm thinking about putting like something very important like a wallet or keys in a cardigan pocket. Say goodbye to both of them. Yeah.
All right. Well, what was your favorite thing or music that you listen to? Doesn't have to be new.
Oh, Renaissance for sure, hands down. Oh, did that count? No, I think it was 2022.
It doesn't matter. It's just
When
like
did that
According to
out.
Spotify, it was Tracy Chapman and Typo Negative.
Oh, that was the thing. Okay, so this was the thing. I texted Adam a couple weeks ago, right after our last podcast, because we were doing our Spotify
Oh,
Wrapped.
Beyonce.
Yeah, and I was like, how is there no Beyonce on my top? Like, I was having an existential crisis, thinking like, am I not the human I think I am? Am I not the kind of Beyonce fan that I think I am? Like, I'm sure.
Fucking lying.
I listened to
You've
it,
been
yeah,
lying
to
our
myself
legion,
and to
our legions
everyone.
of listeners.
So, just myself for years. Like, I was really thinking, like, do I not think I'm the person I think I am? Like, what are these top songs? And there is on Tidal, which is not Spotify, which is the one I have, because it's Beyonce's, or it used to be Jay-Z's and Beyonce's app. They have a most listened to, and then a separate category that's most listened to in 2023. And on that list, I had like 5 Beyonce songs in my top 10. So I came down off of my spiral.
Okay. All right.
So even though Alabama is up there to most listened
Wow.
somewhere, maybe of all time,
Fuck.
who knows?
Fuck.
But I needed to clear that up for myself and for everyone to have on-air accountability that I am, in fact, a Beyonce fan.
Yeah.
It was really giving me a lot of
glad you
stress.
cleared
It
that
kept
up.
me up at night.
Yeah,
I was
I can
like,
imagine. It's like you're starting your
I was like,
like
what are these
proofing your
songs?
post
I haven't
to, like,
listened to
all
these
your
songs,
Bay
I don't
fans.
think, in forever. So I don't trust Tidal now. But
All right. Well.
let me see. Oh, Pink Friday too. I'm really enjoying that right now.
Yeah. Right on. I don't think I've gotten to Pink Friday. I really enjoyed New Blue Sun, the new Andre 3000.
I was
album.
gonna guess.
I listened to it so much. But before that came out, like I talked about this last year, but that Black Thought album, Cheat Codes. But it put me into, because I've always listened to the Roots. I've loved the Roots.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the Roots.
you
Like
sent
I've never
me
been
that
like a
new album.
fanatic about them, but I've appreciated them. But even more so, they're like their later stuff. Like Things Fall Apart is a great album, but some like The Tipping Point, Game Theory, like the later albums came out. I don't know. I recognize more with those. But so hearing that Cheat Codes album and hearing Black Thought as a solo artist really put me onto him to go deeper. And so I've been listening to like all his solo shit.
Yeah.
And he's got these 3 albums called Streams of Thought, and they're just fucking amazing. And it's just inspiring to hear that level of like wordplay and like the shit he talks about.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because like there's some of the stuff that he talks about that like I don't fucking know, right? And I love that.
Yeah.
And so I'm at a point now where I'm like I can say, okay, well, what the hell is that? And it gives me an opportunity to look into that. And I'm like, oh shit. That's this person from this time frame, from this era that had this impact.
It's like watching Archer.
Yeah, right, exactly. But more in
just
a
like active
philosophical
listening.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very interesting. So it's been a cool ride to like go down that, and that's kind of put me back into like just been listening to a lot of old school shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
got
I
back
still
into Wu-Tang.
yeah, for
Just
sure.
Really love that.
I still think about Black Thought's freestyle, his like 20-minute
Oh
freestyle.
my god,
Like
so
that just
fucking crazy.
never took a breath.
Yeah,
Just crazy.
and it's all like jaw-droppingly good.
Yeah.
There's no like repetitive lines.
No,
There's
like
no,
fill in space.
Yeah.
It all made sense.
Holy
And
shit.
it was wild.
I just respect that. There's studies out there now that are bringing people like that in that have that kind of freestyle mentality, whether through verbal arts or painting arts, and putting like electrodes on their heads and seeing like how their brain works in those moments. And I don't know what any of the studies are yet, but it's cool that they're doing that.
Yeah,
because that's like you almost have to reach this level of personal confidence to let go of control and just know that whatever's going to happen is going to be the thing that needs to happen.
you know what it is? It's a meditative mindset.
Exactly.
Well,
Like
exactly.
you're fully with it and aware, but you have to be in a meditative, I'm not thinking, but I'm thinking at the same
it's
time
like
mindset.
Like, dance like no one's watching.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you can't be thinking about the next word that you're going to say and if it's going to be good because you don't have time for that.
Yep.
You just
know,
gotta
as an
you
avid
that's why they
dancer,
call it
'cause you have
flow.
to pull me off the fucking floor.
Oh, you have, man, Robin.
Oh shit! Well, where's Robin? Whenever we meet,
Yeah.
he's already out on the floor.
Fucking legs Robin over here.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck.
Have you seen the video going around where somebody's superimposed or edited in the Elaine dancing into like all of these different famous movie and like fucking TV scenes?
No.
Oh my god, it's
The little kicks.
funniest shit in the world, and it's
so good.
seamless. It's seamless. It's so fucking good
I
to
can't
see.
think of a better video to watch later.
I can't believe I haven't sent it to you.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't either.
It comes up a lot on my feed for some
Well,
reason. Apparently, I like it all the time. you know?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
What, am I not important enough for Elaine dance videos? You know where to send those.
Sometimes
Right to my
I feel
DMs.
like I send you too many things.
No, you never do. It might take me a couple of days. It might take me a couple days to get through. Like I'll binge and purge, kind of like
Yeah.
I won't go on for like a week, and then I'm on for
Is this
3 days straight.
Instagram or is this TikTok?
TikTok, but he's not on. Oh wait, you are on TikTok.
I
should-
am, but I don't really.
Yeah, so I send
I'm
it to his
boring.
Instagram, and then he sends me stuff. It's just funny, stupid videos or freestyle rap stuff. He sends me all that.
Yeah. If it's
Yeah, when you send shit on the Facebook to or on fucking our text with TikTok, I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
I would send them to you too.
No, I'm
but
not-
you're
I'm
on.
not upset. I'm not.
I know, but you're on Facebook, and I'm never on Facebook,
Oh,
and you're not on the other one. So
beat my MySpace. I deleted my MySpace.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. I might be able to still find yours though.
You can. It's the pictures are still there. My kids found them. They're like, Dad, we found our pictures. We're kids. I'm like, cool, great,
Sweet.
awesome.
Oh yeah, I had an employee that circled those around the office in official emails for like 2 weeks straight. 9 years after the fact.
It's pretty funny though.
Yeah,
I think we talked about this before we hit the record button. But did you guys have you seen the new Scarface Tiny Desk concert?
Nah.
God damn it! It's so good. I don't know if you've listened to Scarface growing up. You know, Mary Jane and
Yeah.
you know My Block and shit. You
He
know,
was
but
he's Ghetto Boys, right?
he was in the Ghetto Boys. Yep. Him and there was 2 other dudes. But yeah, the new Scarface Tiny Desk is fucking dope as shit. It's really fucking good. Like it's like nostalgically good.
all right, well, I'll have to check that one out.
It's good shit. Do you do resolutions for next year, or releasing something for this year?
No, I mean, I never really thought of it like that because, it's like, I would say I kind of have, like, maybe kind of personal goals, but those, I wouldn't really call those resolutions to, like, maybe kind of, in the past it was, okay, I got to fucking, shit for a long time. It was, okay, I got to figure out, I got to quit drinking, cut down on drinking, figure out a way to have a better relationship with alcohol, which, and figured out was not having one. It's amazing how that worked out. But it's like I don't really think of like New Year's resolutions like that because most people don't really follow through with them. I'm kind of the same way in that. I have ideas of like, okay, what would make 2024 maybe better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I really kind of put that shit down because then it's just a way to kind of. At times, I have a tendency to be hard on myself, just sitting there finding one other thing that I did or did not do.
Right,
or
it's
another
setting
thing
yourself
I
up
didn't
for
achieve. It's like,
disappointment,
okay, well,
yeah.
great, what the fuck is the point of making January 17th an example of why you didn't fucking follow through on X, Y, and Z? It's like, cool. Or you can just be like, well, fucking maybe start in February, whatever it is. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's tough with that because we do like set these big grand expectations, and a lot of them are outside of
Great
the
for fucking
like
gym owners.
Well, and it's like we set ourselves up for failure because a lot of times we know down deep that we haven't made the commitment to be that kind of person before. So, what's going to change that now?
Yeah.
And we're making these big plans when, let's make these plans definitely, but, small achievable goals, know. But I think really it's the kindness as we do or don't reach these goals that we hold ourselves to. There's a new term that's been going around that's really interesting, kind of plays into this. It's called holistic derangement syndrome, and that's not like an official term. That's just kind of like a bookmark I've heard people use. But basically, so the way I've heard it and the way I kind of like recognize with it is all the information we have out now to like biohack our bodies or to do like 10,000 steps before breakfast and cold plunges and all these things, right? So we have these theoretical things that are provable that improve our life and our health and our well-being and all this stuff, vegetarianism or whatever it is, right? But a lot of us still, even with that knowledge, don't do it, right? And so whether it's for whatever reason, right? We don't have time, we don't have money, we don't have the abilities, we don't have the willpower, whatever it is, right? But so the idea with this is like just the idea that information's out there and it's still unachievable for you to do cause your depression and anxiety, right? Not even trying it, not even having attempted it, but just knowing that it's there and that you're not doing it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that same idea. It's like there's all this stuff out there that we can look at and hold ourselves accountable for, and a lot of us do in these unrealistic ways. It's kind of like going into a library and looking at all the knowledge that's there. Like every answer you could ever need is in this room, but being depressed because you'll not find the right book that has it.
Right. God, the story of my fucking life.
Well, so New Year's resolutions, a lot of people like try to be more fitness minded and shit. The actor Kumail Nanjiani got fucking absolutely yoked for one of those Avengers movies. Or one of those, I don't know which one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he did.
Yeah,
he looked good.
He's got...
he played in the Eternals, but he's in everything.
What do I know him from? He was in Silicon Valley, that's what I know him from. But he's the...
Oh, he's got like the afro or the like bushy hair.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah.
You'll know him as soon as you see him.
Anyway, he got completely fucking just jacked for this Marvel movie that I haven't seen. But he was just like, and it like brought on a whole fucking wave of shit. A whole bunch of wave of shit for him, like emotionally, for fucking like then he's just like, I started like nitpicking my body and fucking like, oh, my body's not perfect, and he started having all this shit, and it's all because of this. Then he was also he's like, this was also achievable because I had a fucking nutritionist, and this was a full-time thing that I did for 6 to 8 months.
Right.
Where this was my job to get fucking jacked. So there's like so many things at play, and he's acknowledging the fucking overwhelming negative aspect of it first, which is just like, this fucked with my brain.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. The body image just... that's built into our culture, whether we recognize it or not, is really tough.
It's just tough, and as people don't. I remember I was at the host stand at my job, and I could hear this family right by the host stand, and I think it was like an 8-year-old or 5-year-old, whatever. It was fucking age enough to know, and they had mentioned social media, and the parents like, well, adults can have social media, but you're not old enough. And I'm like, oh, that's a good point, blah blah. And she's like, there's a couple things. She's like, one thing is also, people only post the good things on social media. She's like laying this out to a kid. I'm just like, fucking A, this is exactly what kids need to hear, though. I'm not fucking posting all the bad shit. You
this
post
is not
like, hey,
reality.
look at me, I'm doing this. You're not. Fuckers.
Right. Yeah.
It is, tough shit.
It is.
Yeah, and when they're growing up with that as a reality, then and nothing to really base it off of unless you give context to it.
Well, shit, it affects adults too, like that.
100%.
My marriage doesn't look like that. My relationship doesn't look like that. My house doesn't look like that. My vacations don't look like that. Like, it's,
Yeah. There's a book I'm reading right now called The End of Averages, and it talks about a lot about how, like individualism was kind of put by the wayside. I think 1870 is when they started looking at the population in America as an average. So the average, woman looks like this, average man looks like this, average work hours, average all this shit, right? and we wanted to try to be an average, and it was called Taylorism, and even with the schools, we tried to create what an average is, and then we judged the kids off of the average, and so we've constantly been fed this be part of or be better than the average, right? We don't want to be below average, we want to be above average, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think we're just now getting to a point in life where the individual is taking back over, and so a lot of this is we're prying that understanding of well, I don't have that and I don't have this, and it almost has to make it blaringly obvious that we're doing it. It's not just looking across the fence at the Robinsons fucking boat and be like, oh, they have a boat now,
right,
Susie, we have to get a boat,
right,
yeah. Now you look at it, you're faced with it, and you can see, and they can see, and everybody can see that I'm being triggered by this thing, right? And it's going to take some time to pull ourselves out of this, but these new generations that are coming around might have that ability to separate themselves. So
yeah,
I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to see if this.
And each generation kind of uses social media differently. Millennials are different than Gen Xers, and Gen Z is way different how they kind of exist on social media than millennials do.
Yeah.
So I think hopefully it'll get phased out, maybe within the next couple of centuries.
I don't know, because I'm still pretty bad with all that shit, but I would definitely say generationally the fonts get fucking bigger.
Yeah. Spoken like a true Gen Xer.
My shit's normal right now, but I think
mine's as big as it can go.
Adam looks like the top 3 rows of the fucking eye chart. I'm like, holy shit.
As big as it can go.
Exactly.
No shame, man.
If you need to side scroll to fucking see your full 4-letter name, you're fucked. It's too big. You get the tablet.
Yeah, I'll do what I can, man. Yeah, I'll bring back the Jinko so I can carry around a fucking
Tablet.
iPad. Oh man! All right. Well, fucking here's the 2023.
Yeah.
It's it was okay for me. I didn't
Yeah, I was vibing. Yeah.
I my mom passed away.
Yeah.
But,
That
but
sucks.
that's. I mean, it's part of life, right? But it wasn't. It wasn't something that my mom would want to bring the year down by,
right?
And so
because she's there pushing that water wheel right now. That's what she's doing. She's right
trying
outside.
her hardest, man.
Exactly. It's very
Faye's
heavy.
still working
Faye.
on it out
It's
there,
a very
yeah.
heavy water wheel, as you may or may not be. You're aware.
The best cosmic joke she's ever played.
So fucking
yeah,
funny.
man.
Monica
So
wants the
great.
water wheel.
Yeah, but it's been a good year. I've got a lot of good things that happened to us. Families, all happy and healthy. We're moving towards another good year.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Roll with the punches. Do all that fun shit.
Yeah, I was this first time I've been pretty happy at work consistently.
That's big.
Yeah, and that's big for
Yeah.
I don't mind going to work. Other than the fact that serving I don't want to do forever.
Was talking
but
about your staple job last week. And I'm just no, she said it was the fucking best. She said it was the best job she's ever fucking had. And I'm like, I kind of fucking get it. I'm like.
It was no oversight. You're just in a room,
fucking shit.
expected to go through however many piles that you were assigned. You're assigned 5 piles.
I'm just sitting here no, Tiffany, she worked with these people for 2.5 weeks, and she couldn't pick them out of a lineup. She didn't fucking know them at all.
I love how much you love this job too, because I'm so glad someone else is on my level about this job, because I will scream from the mountaintops about this job.
And
I wish it was a
you and
career I
are
could
both
have.
Very sociable people.
Yes.
But we're very inward. Oh, dude.
I got through books. I could get through podcasts. I could make phone
Dude,
calls.
I would probably listen to the fucking Bible at that point.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking go.
Do you know how you get
think
through?
I talk shit now? Do you think
know-
I talk shit now? Oh, wait until I get rid of this shit.
I want to see how many pages or how many hours the audiobooks of the entire Game of Thrones series is. I went from start to finish in
so good.
under 3 weeks.
That's a teaser for a 2024 podcast.
Because it was 8 hours a day. Well, it was
3
probably
weeks.
more than 8 hours a day because I was listening to it on the ride home and at home too.
Yeah.
But it was probably
Impressive.
So
Rolling
that's
through
the
books.
one time Kinzie took work home is when she
Yeah.
started the book on tape. Didn't have to
Didn't
interrupt
end
it. Just like hit the punch card like on Mrs. Doubtfire.
Vocal cords haven't been used at all today.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Dude, I
the
heard they
best job.
found like almost 3 hours worth of outtakes from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they want to do a documentary about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be a great one.
Really excited
I do
to see
love
that.
movie.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Saltburn. That
fuck?
movie Saltburn.
I don't think I've seen that.
Speaking of movies, you should look it up.
The new Predator
Too high to explain it.
sequel's coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, actually, shit, I haven't even seen yet. When you're like
I haven't
movies,
seen Predator
when
yet.
you're like, hey, 2023 year in review, it's like moments, music. I'm like, fuck, okay, I don't know if Tracy Chapman's first album is gonna fall into the 2023
It
music.
should.
It should. Actually, got recognized this year, but that's not the.
Did it
point.
really?
Yeah, it got fucking. She got artist.
Oh, she
of the year.
did.
Yeah, she got something.
She got like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something like
Something
that.
along
Yeah,
those lines.
she did get some
But
flowers
yeah,
this year.
no new music as per usual.
Yeah.
No new
Stay in
movies.
your lane, huh?
Just fucking stay in my
Well, you saw
lane.
Barbie, right?
Oh,
So
I
it was the
did.
year of Barbie, Heimer.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm glad that's the movie that got me to. Wow, fucking A.
Got you out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
Yeah. I thought it was a good movie.
It was a great
Well,
movie.
no, I mean, but the one movie I've seen in the theaters
That
in
Robin
like the
is
last
seen.
15 fucking years. Actually, I think the one before that was Straight Outta Compton.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
It's been
So
about
like
5
that was
years.
like 10
years
12
ago?
years ago.
12 years ago, yeah. All right.
Straight Outta Compton, Barbie.
So Barbie brought you back out from Straight Outta Compton. So wide
jeez,
wide
what's
genre
this?
of movies that you
Yeah,
see.
exactly.
Yeah.
Cover a lot of bases there.
Margot Robbie will have that effect on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
All right. Well, we'll see you next year.
We'll see you in 2024.
Peace.